Good morning, everyone. This is Jessica with Whispers of Grace Healing. I am here with Mama Joe.
Morning.
We are doing Mama Joe and Jess Speaks, Know Your Worth, and other ramblings, whatever may come out today. So if you are new to my channel, welcome. If you've been here before, thank you for coming back. As always, let us know who you are, where you're from. And don't forget to like, share, subscribe, hit that notification bell if you would like updates. And if you enjoy today's message, and you want to see more, if you would like to leave a love donation, there is a donation link down below. And if anyone does want to reach out to Mama Joe with any questions or support, then you can also send her a message through whispersofgrace1016@gmail.com, and I will make sure she gets those. Good morning, Jason. How are you doing, hun? So I told y'all I would get her on here. Hey, how are you? Yeah, so Mom's got some good messages, and I know I did talk a little bit about some of the stuff last night, but all this was definitely channeled, and she's got some really good messages for y'all. So go ahead, Mama.
Okay, so some of y'all know I've been dealing with illness, and I got to tell you, the last 4 days have been my best days in like 3 months. But then again, I woke up this morning feeling like a truck hit me. So if I ramble a little bit, please excuse me. It will get back on track.
Well, we said there would be rambling.
There would be rambling today. But I don't know how to explain it other than we had a really chill weekend. And Tuesday, I had a cousin of mine that does stained glass, and his mother was a painter. She's passed, bless her soul. And she had done a painting that, well, I have several of hers in my room, but one that I just particularly love of this fish, and it had oranges and blues and just my favorite colors in it. So I'd asked him to do a stained glass for me, and I was going to meet him to pick it up. And about half hour before I went to meet him, it's like a novel started writing in my brain. And I don't have a journal yet. I have asked for one for Mother's Day. So most of it's on my phone. So please excuse me if you see me looking down, because I could not stop. I had to get in the car, within the half hour, and it was still coming. And I was trying to do talk to text on my phone. It kept connecting to my Bluetooth and trying to call some random number. And I'm like, all this is in my head and I can't get it out. And I couldn't believe how much I wrote, because I'm not a writer. So I'm just going to start with something I heard that irritated me. It's going to go into how we react to certain situations, and then go into, loving yourself and knowing your worth. And that's what came out of this. And basically this was something somebody said in a social setting, and it just, I know I'm older, I get it, but let me tell you, I was that age once. And when you're in your 20s and 30s, and sometimes we do things and we do them because we want to, but then other times we do things because it's some sort of peer pressure. And you think by the time I'm in my 20s, that shit's over, but it's not. It's never over. So this is the statement. You shouldn't really ever have to pay for sex. Go in a bar, buy a girl a few drinks, act like you're genuinely interested, and odds are you'll get the sex. I think the part that got me most was act like you're genuinely interested. First thought. Does this dumbass know that he just paid for sex? How many drinks did he buy? I hope you drank 10 shots of tequila and 5 White Russians. Probably close to what he would have paid for it if that's his mentality. And I can't tell you how much it bothered me. I'm going to admit there's time in everybody's life, mine included. You want to go out and just hook up. Shit's fucked up. You want to escape for a while.
And that's exactly what it is.
It is. That's exactly what it is. Yeah, I don't even care. Yeah, maybe I don't need somebody to buy me drinks. I'm going to look at you and, dude, come on, you ain't got to buy me shit. But if you let that become a regular practice because you're looking for something else, the clue is if you feel bad in the morning, then it's not the best thing for you. If you're out and you don't want anything else and you understand that's what it is, that's one thing. But for somebody to act like they're genuinely interested in you and give you the vibe that there's more than tonight. So it pissed me the fuck off.
I just want to say real quick, hey, Colby.
It did. It pissed me the fuck off. And I have reactionary anger problems. I know it. I've worked on it a lot. So piss this one off and shit can get scary real quick. I feel like, no, I'm not going to tell that story. I'm going to say, want to get your ass beat today, kid? That's popping into my mind. So yeah, I can be like, yeah, don't. But we had somebody give us a book this weekend, and I don't have it in front of me right now. I meant to. It's called Being Human. And I don't know. Do you know Frank's whole name?
Hold on, because it's
a 3-word. Frank.
Emmanuel Ierna. Ierna.
If you can find that somewhere, I suggest you read it. So
it's amazing.
His book, well, the first chapter is how do you react in certain situations. And I saw myself in that so much. So I stopped myself from reacting.
Sorry, y'all.
And I said, am I coming from a place of love? Did I have it in my heart?
A place of judgment?
No, I'm trying not to. Did I have it in my heart to look at this objectively? Maybe he's just a lonely soul who has never experienced love. What in his life made him have this mentality that I don't want to meet any other woman more than one night? He probably doesn't know his worth. So I decided to talk about it. And people, know your fucking worth. If somebody's interested in you, this applies to guys and girls. It's a two-way street. They're going to take the extra time to get to know you. This love them and leave them approach, throw it. And if they don't want to take the time to get to you, then they're not worth your time. You are worth making someone work to share your life, even if it is only for a couple hours. Don't doubt your self-worth. And I think sometimes we have to tell ourselves this, but I'm telling you now, you deserve to have someone in your life that cherishes you, celebrates you, feels honored to be in your presence. And you deserve to have somebody that feels the same way about you. And it's work to do that. The kind of relationship that it takes to have that total commitment, love, it does. It takes work. I used to tell Jess, you have to kiss a lot of frogs to find that prince. And it's still that way. So if you're looking for that or hoping that one day it comes into your life, remember not to settle for something that's nowhere near that. I think we have to tell ourselves, you get up in the morning, you brush your teeth, you're looking in the mirror. I deserve this. I love myself. I deserve to have somebody in my life that cares about me. And this is on a friendship level too, people.
Oh yeah. And I do want to say, I talk to y'all about that all the time. Love comes in so many different forms. It doesn't have to be just a romantic partner. You can love your friends, your children, your brother, your sister, your parents. It doesn't matter. There's so many ways. You can even show love and have love for pure acquaintances.
Absolutely.
So don't think that when we say love that it has to be just purely on a romantic level.
No way.
But it's so funny that you say that because I forgot that she had that in there about looking in the mirror. And y'all have heard me talk about this before, about the issues I used to have about looking in the mirror and talking to myself. And through that purge, when I was going through all that with my ex and trying to build up my self-confidence, I had to look myself in the mirror and be like, Jessica, you are a beautiful bitch and I love you. We're going to get through this. But I haven't done it in a while. And this morning, right before I was getting in the shower, like, I almost bypassed the mirror, and I had to bring myself back and be like, man, you were beautiful. And it's those moments that really help raise that vibration, because it's like you're looking at yourself from a different perspective, and you can truly see what other people see. And it's like, there it is, there I am. And that is important to do. So,
I find it helps, and when I do it, if I actually touch myself, I deserve love. I deserve happiness. I deserve peace.
Hey,
I love
Debbie.
myself, and I deserve for everyone else to love me too. And it brings you up. Don't know how to explain it other than you believe what you hear, especially if you're saying it to yourself with that intent. I deserve this. You believe yourself.
And I'll say to Caitlin, listen, I know it's hard, honey. I know it's hard, but if you have a hard time looking in the mirror, and this goes for anyone that's in this chat or comes across this video, if you find yourself having a hard time looking in the mirror, that is your homework. And I will be checking on y'all. Okay. So every day, every morning, you wake up and you're brushing your teeth, I want you to look at yourself in the eyes and just say beautiful things to yourself, things that you want to hear from others. I want you to say to yourself and build that vibration, because you have to be able to look at the deepest parts of you. And sometimes just looking at your own reflection helps you do that. So yes, mirror work, Melissa. Melissa, yes, you have to. And I don't want to say have to, but you should. You should absolutely do it. And I just want everyone right now, stop scolding yourself, Debbie. Listen, there's no reason for you to be doing it, because listen, I know how it is when you're your own worst enemy, but just be aware enough that when you catch yourself scolding yourself, switch it around and turn it into a positive. But everyone in this room right now, I just feel compelled to say this. Put your hand on your heart, and you know this exercise. I want you to feel it too. Feel that heart beating. This is your center, right? This is your life force. This is your responsibility to take care of, to share with this world. And I want you to say it with your whole heart. I love you.
I love you.
I love you.
I love
and
you.
you just say it as many times as you have to until you feel that heart beating even harder, and you can feel the energy of spirit running through your veins. You deserve to be here. You deserve to be here. So love yourself. And anytime you start feeling like you're mad at yourself, or you're feeling guilty or shameful, you put your hand on your heart and be like, you know what? It's okay. I love you. I got you. And you're going to get through it. And if you ever need me, listen, you know I'm a digger. I will be your biggest cheerleader, man. Like, seriously, yes, it is. It will make you cry. The first time I ever told myself
I cried for a week.
I know. We did. We were a fucking mess, y'all. We were like, what do you mean I love myself? You know, it was real. So y'all just keep doing that work, and anytime you feel like you need to, you do it, because you deserve it. So
and you will. You'll cry for a few days. You might cry for a week. You might cry for 2 weeks. The deeper it is, the longer you'll cry. But one day you're gonna do it, and you're not gonna cry.
Right. And you're gonna be like, and it's gonna believe it.
Yeah, you're gonna feel like you feel the light coming shining out through your damn ears. But okay, so I'm gonna get back on track.
I told you,
ramblings today. I knew it would be that way. So whatever you're doing, don't settle. Okay. There's going to be many relationships in life. They're life lessons. What they teach you is what you want and don't want in your next relationship. If you're in a bad one, you're going to be okay. That's a boundary that's not going to be crossed next time. I'm getting out of this, and we're not going back to that. You know, if you're lucky enough, you got your person, and you know, things have been great. Remember to take the time out to remind each other of that. Daily life gets in the way for all of us. And I think we forget, you know, because it gets so just normal life that you forget the I love you or the, you know, in the scheme of things, if you're lucky enough to get that hang on to it.
For real.
This will be my 20-year anniversary this year, and my husband and I still talk every day at lunch.
Yeah.
While he's
I
at work.
swear they're twins. It's crazy.
You know, it's what we do. Even if it's for 3 minutes, you know, how's your day going? Oh, I'm really busy today. All right, we'll eat your lunch. Make sure you eat your lunch, you know, because we're old. We remind people, we remind each other that, you know, just to have that little chat. And sometimes it's a lot longer, but sometimes it's not. And it's okay. It's just that quick check in. Hey, I'm thinking about you. I love you. Talk to you. See you in a few hours, you know. But getting off of the relationship side and going back to, well, what we really just talked about, I truly believe we only need to be happy with ourselves. Once you love yourself, you put that energy out there that attracts the people that you want to attract. I've always thought, and I don't know, I was always independent, always. But I always think of having a partner as being a bonus. We have to be happy with ourselves first. I've been able to be alone and be happy, and I'm grateful for that. I know not everybody can do that. But if we're not happy and fulfilled as an individual, we're not going to be happy and fulfilled as a married person or in a relationship. You're bringing that with you, you know, and as well as friendships. It's got to be a give and take. No one should be doing all the giving. No one should be doing all the taking. If you have somebody that calls you that never says, hey, how are you doing today? They just go right into diarrhea mouth, you know, and 40 minutes later you're going, oh shit, I need a meditation. I'm just exhausted, you know,
I need to sleep 12 hours.
Do something to get this energy away from me. And you probably hadn't said 5 words. You got to be thinking about what am I getting from this? Is this just a total take situation?
Don't be an emotional dumping ground.
No, don't, because you can't get away from it. And you could be having a great day and somebody call you, and 30 minutes later you feel like you said, for me, I want a meditation, calm me back down. You go take a nap, whatever. You're drained.
It's still a form of meditation. It's quieting everything.
You're drained, and you don't need somebody in your life that's going to drain you. Know your worth, feel the self-love, take time for you, and enjoy life to the fullest. I'm telling y'all, live every day, because you don't know when it's going to be your last. And it's not just us older generations that's having to think about that now. I mean, if you look in the news, I swear within the last week, I've seen, you know, teens to 20-somethings dropping dead of heart attacks and stuff. And it's like, how is that happening? But it is. And the grief, and, you know, just take care of yourself now. You'll be happy you did. And if you are one, you know, that feels like, hey, I'm jumping from relationship, I just can't figure out what I want. I got all these people coming at me. I don't know who I want, what I want. Start asking yourself some questions. Why do I feel this way? Am I looking for financial stability? Am I just lonely? You know,
validation.
Validation. Do I got a biological clock ticking? You know, do I just need somebody there? Do I just want somebody there for companionship? Is society saying you're 30 and you better get on it, girl, or guy, or whatever? Your mother's going, I want grandchildren, you know, whatever the case may be.
And you need to be really honest with yourself when you're asking. And that's where the gentleness comes in. It's not looking at yourself like, oh man, that's fucked up. No, it's being honest with yourself and being like, okay, why am I really reacting this way? Why do I feel that I need this? And usually there's a very strong core issue that relates around that. And that's where the work comes in, y'all. If you can't be honest with yourself and be like, okay, but you have the power to change that. And it's a choice. It's a choice. You don't have to carry all these other voices. And I've been talking about this lately, taking all these other voices and using them as your own in order to make a decision for yourself. And you need to figure out what it is that you really want out of life.
And what I found that helps me is to take that time for yourself.
Yeah.
We all need time to just be. And I'm telling you, even 20 minutes,
Mhm.
20 minutes of peace and solitude a day will greatly improve how you generally feel, how you look on life. You know, I remember when my kids were little, it's like the only time I got to myself was when I locked myself in the bathroom, and it was usually still, let me in, you know, Mama, come on, I need something, you know, and it's not good.
No.
You're running on this frenetic energy. It's not good for you. It's not good for the people in your life. And, you know, set your alarm clock 20 minutes early before the kids get up. Do your meditation. Start that day peaceful, calm. You'll be amazed at how much smoother your day will go. And this, I think this thing of everybody, and this is definitely a society thing or from your parents or whatever, you know, my house needs to be clean. Oh, I got to have the laundry done. The dishes got to be done. You know what? Who said that?
Right.
Who said that?
Yeah. And we've both been there, like to the point where dishes in the sink stresses us.
If I come home from work and there's one in the sink, it's like, ah!
Yeah.
I'm clanging it, I'm banging it. It drives me crazy. Has to come from my mother.
Yeah,
because I could really.
It came from her.
Yeah.
Like, I mean, I remember being a certain age and like when my brother was living here and my stepdad, and then it was me and you, and we were working a lot. Yeah. And there would be times I'd come home before her and like just dishes in the sink, and I was like, no, y'all are assholes. You gotta have this done before she gets here. Go ahead and start dinner. What are you doing? Like, do you know what kind of attitude she's gonna be like if she comes home from do you know she's having a hard day? Like, I mean, and trying to get ahead of the train. And then I realized that it was the same thing when I got married, and it's like dishes piled high and no one's giving a single fuck. And it's like, no. But also these things like clutter, right? So dirty dishes piling up, you know, you have a laundry load, you got shit everywhere, there's dust. If you do not have, and this is why I want to go to a more simplistic life, because all these things hold energy. So if you have dirt and shit piled up, you know, like that's the energy you're creating in your house. So of course, having a more simplistic and clean life, you know, clean as you go, don't be an ass, but it's like, you know, the more stuff that you have around you, the more you're closing yourself in. So it's important to ask, what is a priority? And this is why we sit in the backyard all the time, because this is open and it's free and it's connected. But being inside the house, there's so much stuff that it's like, it makes me feel boxed in. I don't know. Yeah, it does. And so it's one of those things where you do have to, if it comes down to you coming home from work and you feel like you have to do all this, take a few minutes to yourself before you do it, just so you can center, so you're not doing it in a state of anxiety or anger, you know what I'm saying, or whatever the case may be. But yeah, it's not that these things aren't important, but your well-being and your peace of mind is more important than these things. So let me just clear that up.
Yeah.
Okay. So
I started thinking about it, and I said, yeah, somebody did say that, but you know what? It wasn't me.
Yeah. Yeah.
So I've been able to, if I come home and there's dishes in the sink, they stay there till after I'm finished with cooking dinner and eating, and then I clean it all up at once. Who said it had to be done right away? I don't know. It wasn't me. Changed my mind on that. So you kind of think about the things you've been conditioned with, and if you don't like some of them, change that shit up.
Yep.
You know, it's like the ways to do things. And my husband and I do this all the time. He's like, it's a big joke with Jess's dad and my first husband when we were first married. I was cooking him breakfast one morning, and he came in and came up to me at the stove and said, let me teach you how to cook bacon, as I was frying the bacon.
Not a good question.
Needless to say, I haven't cooked breakfast for a man in 35 years. So my poor second husband got the brunt of that, because I hung on to that one. But we talk about it now, and it's like, you know, there's probably at least 100 ways to do a simple task. And my way of frying bacon might be different than your way of frying bacon, but the bacon still gets fried.
Mm-hmm.
So do your own thing. And if somebody comes in and goes, hey, you're doing that wrong, go, no, I'm not doing it wrong. I'm doing it different.
Yeah.
And
Mm-hmm.
and you're going to get the same result. So chill your ass out. And sometimes we have to tell them that, because I tend to give the look. So I think it's time for us to remind ourselves as a collective, and I mean everybody in this world. Things are so bad out there now. We are important. We're loved, even if it's only by ourselves. Your self-love is going to be your probably greatest love, because if you love
Amen to
yourself,
that.
you can love somebody
Yeah.
else. So make it a point to take that time for yourself. If you can do it daily, that's great. If you can't, shoot for weekly or even monthly. If you have kids, ask a family member or something. Can you just take them for an hour? Let me go take a walk.
Yeah.
And if you love to be outside, saying get out there.
Yeah.
There's nature trails usually nearby everybody. If you're near a beach or ocean, get out there. Even if you want to take a long bubble bath, knowing you're not going to be interrupted. Anything that makes you feel peaceful, get out there and do. Let your mind quiet a little bit. Jump on a bike. Turn on some music, dance your ass off.
Right.
Just let it go. And you will come back to yourself and the people in your life feeling better. You just have to let those thoughts go by the wayside sometimes. And sometimes we got to talk back to ourselves. I tell myself that we have to keep reminding ourselves, and so if you get in there and you've got this, your little voices in the head telling you the 10 things you need to do, just talk back to them, man. Guess what? No, stop it. I don't need to do that right now. I'll get to it eventually. It's not a priority for me. And make yourself that priority. Sometimes you just got to take a deep breath. Remember the good feeling that you had. We just came back from a weekend in the woods, and the minute we got to the interstate, it was like traffic stop, backed up for miles. First thing we do, we go, forest time, find the next exit, within 15 minutes. We didn't even let it aggravate us, which we could have sat in that traffic for hours. We're like, no way, find an alternate route. So stay on that, whether it's forest time, happy time, pool time, whatever makes you happy. Yeah, mountain time's coming. Stay peaceful in your own knowledge and let the outsiders go away. And this kind of came true for me the other day. I actually stopped by a gas station that other afternoon, pick up my cigarettes, which I know is a bad habit. And I always try to say, it doesn't matter where I'm at, whether I'm at work or restaurant, the bank, when I leave, I always try to say, have a great day, because you never know what kind of day somebody's having. And you might make somebody's day saying that, and you don't even know it. And it doesn't take anything, to say it. But I walked into a gas station with a little convenience store, and when I paid and I left, I said, have a great day. And she looked at me like, what? And then she said, well, don't worry. Somebody will irritate you shortly. And I said, no, they won't. They can keep that shit. And she looked at me like I had lost my freaking mind. And all I could think is, I hope somebody's having a horrible day that comes in here later, that maybe she can remember that and say, sir, I hope you have a great day. And maybe make his life a little better. But she totally did not believe me. Totally not. Nope. But I just feel like my energy's positive. I'm going to keep it positive. If they've got a negative attitude, they're not going to come in my little bubble, because I don't want it. I don't want it. Stay. Again, it's part of knowing your worth, keeping your energy. I'm going to be happy. You can go on over there. I love you, but I can love you over there. You don't have to come here. And then it's like, I swear, here spirit is again. I was watching a video on opening your chakras, and the guy was talking about the throat, and he said, sticks and stones may break your bones, but words will never hurt me. Again, who said that? It's a fucking lie. It's a fucking lie. And you know whose words hurt us the most? Our own. The things we're saying to ourselves. We're breaking our own bones. Why would we do that? Why would we do that?
Yeah.
We have to stop. We have to change those negative thoughts we have in our head to positive thoughts. And I'm in a position right now where it would be easy for me to go with the negative. Most days I'm in a lot of pain. Got some head stuff going on where I just do all kind of stupid shit and like, I don't even know why, and then a couple hours later, you're like, what was I thinking? Or why did I do that? But I just say it is what it is for me right now. This is my reality, and I can't be upset about that reality. I got to try to find the positive in it and get out and do what I can do to combat it. And that's what I'm doing. So I hope that the rest of y'all will think about that too and go about your life in a positive. Remember to love yourself. We got to love ourselves. And this is what I wrote when I said this. Get your money back because it's a lie. And the things we say to ourselves, and actually my cousin said one of these to me the other day. So this is where the man reference came from. You're gonna crack up, and you know what I'm talking about, people. My ass is too big. I'm not pretty enough. My penis is too small. They won't like me. He's better than me. All kind of things we think to ourselves and don't realize that we're hurting ourselves, and when you get in the kind of freeing place, and it might be kind of hippie-ish and not everybody's ready to do it, but my cousin was telling me about, they were at one of these rainbow fests, and he's like, everybody's under the waterfall naked. And that was his first thought. Oh no, could this be, should I worry about that? And he's like, no. And you think, not that I'm a nudist by any, well, I am in my own backyard, but being without clothes is freeing. But if you think about like the people at nudist colonies, they're not your models. They're people that don't have the perfect body. They don't care. They're free. What would it be like to be that free? Can you imagine? To not worry what somebody thought about that extra roll, or, just they don't care.
They don't.
Why do we care? What makes us care? We've been taught to care.
The conditioning.
Yeah, the conditioning. And you're going to be we all should try to be our best self. Yeah. Of course, you want to be in good shape and you want to look your best.
Be healthy.
You feel better when you're like that. But the majority of people are like that, and they just don't know it because somebody's told them they're not. I look at Jess, who, has had that outside conditioning, not from her immediate family, but from other people in her life. Anybody think she's not beautiful? I mean, really, you get those thoughts in your head because other people tell you. And I call her my sunshine. I'm telling you, she glows like a glow stick most of the time. It's shiny. People are attracted to it. What has gotten to make you think that you're not fucking it? And it's sad that we get that in our mind that we don't need to be perfect. Who said you have to be perfect? If everybody was perfect, what kind of life would this be? You'd be walking around with a bunch of perfect people who didn't know anything about themselves because they probably thought they were perfect. But we don't need that. We just need to be us. And when you be yourself, you attract people to you. Thought it was a ladybug. Had a lot of ladybugs around lately, and lizards and all kind of nature life, which we love. But just today, be kind to yourself, love yourself, know your worth. It's time to shine in your own light. And you shine in your own light, and you will attract whatever you want. It'll come to you. Anything to add, sweetie?
Well, actually, yeah. So a couple of things. Back in the beginning of this conversation about, the ant that painted this picture, right? So a lot of us feel like we don't have any talents or whatever the case may be, but it was such a beautiful story of how she actually came about painting, because she was well into her 60s at that point.
Probably late 50s.
Late 50s. And, you know, she had never painted a day in her life, but she had this natural talent and, I mean, amazing work. So it was really cool how the majority of her life, she didn't even know she had this capability, but the moment she started doing it, it was just there. And I mean, I've been doing art my whole life and I feel like I can't do what she did. And so effortlessly, like she had a real eye for detail, which inspired the stained glass. You know, even down to the orchid that she gave me an orchid before she passed away. And she was like, I heard you're the orchid queen. You know, I feel like I'm killing this thing. It's never bloomed and I've had it for several years. And seriously, I brought this thing home and, you know, it was a mess, but it was still alive. And right after she passed, it ended up growing
Huge.
it was like probably 9 inches stalk and had like 12 blooms on it the year after she passed. And it was just like every year I look forward to what blooms Aunt Pam's gonna bring me, you know. And it's beautiful. But then what was the other thing? I can't remember, but there is a part of the conversation where, you know, we're talking about getting these channeled messages and what do we want from relationships. And, you know, one of the questions that came up through all of this too was, what does love mean to you? And I want you to ask yourself that question, because when it was originally asked to me, I was like, that is a good fucking question. You know, like I have a lot of different aspects of what love is, but what does love really mean to me? And of course, my first thought was, you know, how I've loved people throughout my life and how that didn't really work for me. You know, I'm not going to sit there and say that I'm ashamed or that I feel guilty on how I expressed my love in the past, but it's definitely, you know, grown and evolved over the years, and especially by doing this work. So I, you know, of course, go to my twin and it's like, what am I, because this is the most unconditional I've ever felt about anyone. What does that love mean, and what would I even be able to offer, right? So, you know, I kind of asked myself, because I feel like the conversation with him is going to come up eventually, probably sooner rather than later. I don't know. I'm keeping that open, but I was like, what would I want to tell him? Because I want to clear things up about what I actually expect from this. And, you know, I think there's a lot of assumptions too. And again, because of my energy and how I portrayed myself in the beginning, like he fired me up. And usually I'm very grounded. And it's like, you know, again, like I was talking about last night, I used to rush into things, and now I want to take things slow. I want to be able to spend more time with myself in order to figure it out. So of course, spirit comes in and, you know, messages are flowing, and it's like, okay, well, what would I say in that situation if he asked, what do you want? And so this is what I wrote. I want to say that I miss him. I hope he's been well. I want to explain that even though these feelings are there, a strong connection, I couldn't offer or accept a relationship right now. I'm still figuring me out, healing things, finding my true self. I want to use this time wisely to evolve and get to my center. I would be open to being in a relationship if I knew I could grow with that person, someone where we can support each other through the process, knowing it won't always be pretty, but willing to work together through these transitions, someone I can count on as a friend first. And, you know, I've never looked at it in that sense before. You know, I always needed someone to lean on, but I don't need anyone to lean on anymore. I just need them to hold that space for me and help us help each other through that process, even through the dark times. And you know it's not going to be pretty, because this is the roller coaster of life. We are going to have highs, we are going to have lows, and you need to be able to count on your partner to be there for you. Friend first. You need to make sure that they are going to be there for you and you be there for them, and know that you can count on each other to go through these trials and tribulations, because it's not always going to be pretty, and you need to know that you can be that rock for each other, right? If they need space, you give them space. If they need you, you be there, and vice versa, right? But you need to know who you are and heal those wounds, because you don't want to carry that baggage into this relationship, and you don't want them to carry their baggage in, so there's got to be that equal give and take. Like Mom said, there's got to be the equal energy exchange.
I got bacon baggage.
And that was the thing. Okay, that was the other thing. So like with her and the bacon story, and I remember, and listen, I tried to tell my husband, my ex-husband, I'm just like her. What are you talking about? And he was like, no, you're not. It took quite a few years of dating me for him to be like, okay, yeah, you are. Now, it wasn't until like we had bought our house, and when I say I took care of everything on the home front, I did. He went to work, he came home, he ate my dinner, and then he went to bed. So he didn't really have to worry about much, except for being that provider and paying most of the bills. But when it came to groceries, when it came to cooking, when it came to laundry, it came to doing everything for the kids, that was me. Now, I remember one day, and this was the thing, like even simply asking, hey, what do y'all need from the grocery store? If it's not on the list, it's not being bought, because I was paying for it. So it's like, I'm not going to just get a bunch of random stuff that I feel like we need and it doesn't get used. Tell me what you need. And they would never help me with the list. Well, then when I came home one day, he was mad because I didn't buy fucking Oreos. And I was like, what? And he's sitting here rummaging through the pantry like, did you even look before you went? I was like, do you want to go from now on? Because I will gladly not go shopping anymore. And it only took about 3 more times before his mother started doing it for him. Like, just sending her a list. She went, she got it, she came and delivered it. Like, because I was over that shit. So, it happens, but I get it from her, honestly. But
I can't help but laughing. Because we are working on ourselves, but we still have those moments of like, oh no, hell no.
But don't berate us or make us feel small or stupid because it's not the way that you would like to see it, or whatever the case may be. I remember one time right towards the end when we were in therapy, and I was doing the individual, not just the couple therapy. And I told him, I'm going to get dinner started before I go to my appointment, blah, blah, blah. Well, then his kids ended up calling. So I had to go get them from school. They were sick, blah, blah, blah. And I didn't have time to get dinner started. So I just went to my appointment and was going to do it when I got back. Well, he got home before me. And let me tell you, like, he was blowing up my phone, like, where are you? Blah, blah, blah. I get in the car. I'm like, dude, I was at my appointment. Well, I didn't see your car. And as soon as I came in, my oldest stepdaughter was like, what's wrong with Dad? And I was like, what are you talking about? And she goes, well, he just seems like in a bad mood. Well, what happened? Well, he just came in the door and was like, why isn't dinner started? Where's Miss Jess? And I was like, what the fuck, yo? Like, no. So you have, and this is where the boundaries come in, knowing your worth. Don't let people use you as a doormat or that you're their caretaker. And that's what I'm saying. He depended on me too much to take care of everything. And if I didn't get to it, then I was shamed for it. So know yourself well enough. And again, you do not have to play Susie Homemaker. You do not have to be perfect. And if it is, again, your priority, you time is more important than you getting all that shit done, even if you only take a few minutes for yourself. Like, it is okay. It is okay.
Yeah.
And that's why it's important to be with someone who is aware of their emotions, so they're not projecting their bullshit on you. So know your damn worth. Know you are lovable. You are deserving of all the joy in the world. And if anyone wants to project their shit onto you, just know that is not yours. You wanna act like that? Why don't you go take a fucking salt bath? You know what I'm saying? Like,
I think the best thing, like me, I just, like, if you smile at them, they
hate it.
they don't know what to do with it.
Yeah.
Oh, we're having a little meltdown.
Yeah.
I'm glad I'm not acting like that.
Right. Yeah. Listen. And there have been times it's just been like access denied. Don't bring that to me because I don't want it. Just like that. So, you know what I'm saying? But yeah, and that pissed him off even more because I heard him yelling on his way in, and then he immediately wants to come hug me, and it's like, listen, you're projecting all kinds of shit. No, don't, because he had already been unloading on me, and I just realized the more time I was around him, the worse I felt, and I just started slowly shrinking, and I mean, I just couldn't. It was like I can't even handle. So again, it comes to speaking up for yourself, knowing when, and listen, it's okay to say, I don't have the emotional stability or energetic stability to handle your shit right now. Work yourself through it. I'll be here, I'll hold that space for you.
Yeah.
But it's not mine to be responsible for it. And that's where we need to know where we stand in our own lives, right?
And fighting for your worth sometimes.
Yeah.
You in that case, you had to fight for it. It's like, look, if you need to go take a shower, you need to go take a walk around the block, you go do what you need to do. I will be here when you get back, but don't take it out on me.
Right. Yeah. So, but yeah. Hey, Danny, you missed it. It's a good one. Go back and watch it.
Oh, hey, Danny.
Yeah. But we really appreciate everyone showing up today. Hey, Lachey, I love you all so much. Thank you for supporting me and Mama Joe. And I hope that some of these messages resonate with you, that you can take something from it. And if anyone does want to reach out, you can get in contact with us through Whispers of Grace 1016@gmail.com. Hey, Justine. But yeah, make sure that y'all like and share this video. And if anyone would like to leave a love donation in order to keep these videos going, there is a donation link down below. No amount is too small, and we appreciate everyone's love and support. So,
and Danny, just got to tell you, you rocked me with that Scorpio video.
You rocker socks, Danny.
Loved it.
We were watching some of your videos
last night,
and the spirit talks, and like you get us, man.
Yeah.
We love watching you. You're amazing. You're amazeballs. But yeah, so I really hope that everyone gets something from this, and if you know anyone who needs to see it, please send it their way. These messages do need to be shared, so the more y'all interact with it, the more it gets out there. And I know that there are a lot of people who probably need to see it. So if you are catching the replay, make sure to leave us a comment. Let us know how this resonates with you. And we hope that you have a wonderful and blessed day. Much love and many blessings.
Love and light, everybody.
All right. Bye, y'all.
Bye.